What's up everyone, my name is Liam and this is my 2008 Mazda 3 hatchback. And this is also my 2008 Mazda 3 hatchback. I'll get into this in just a moment, but first let's talk about this. Now if you guys watched my video that I made on this car, you know that this looks a little bit different than how it looked in the video. And there's a reason for that. You might be able to see it over there. So, unfortunately, what happened with this car is it ended up getting rear-ended. It was a pretty hard hit. I was sitting at a red light, and I was hit about like 25 to 35 miles an hour.
Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Pull over. What a fucking idiot!
And this is the damage. This was pushed in farther, but I had to use some pliers and pull it out so that I can still use the trunk. Now, anyways, what ended up happening with this car is insurance totaled it out. I'm not really sure why, because I think the repair was within the price range that they had, but it's beyond me. Now, what ended up happening is I got a actually pretty decent chunk of settlement money from this accident. Of course, it wasn't my fault at all. Like I said, I was sitting at a red light and I was just smacked from behind. But because this car is such low mileage, it's only sitting at 115,000 miles right now. They gave me a decent chunk from insurance. And as much as I love this car to death, I still love this car to death. And as much as I wanted to, it just simply wasn't in my best interest to take that settlement money and fix this car. And it really came down to two reasons. Number one, I don't have the skill set to do this kind of stuff on my own. And if I take it to a shop, I'm still going to be spending probably around $5-6 grand to fix this car. Because if I'm fixing it right. I'm not just going to pull out the trunk pan, slap a hatch on it, slap a bumper on it, and call it a day. I want the trunk pan replaced, and it's just really not doable with the price range that I was given. And number two, if I did go ahead and go through with fixing the car on my own and all that kind of stuff, it would still be a salvage title, which means I'd have to turn it into a rebuilt title, which that's not much of an issue. I could definitely do that, but the problem is it would be a rebuilt title. Insurance rates go up with a rebuilt title car. It just wouldn't do me very well. So instead, what ended up happening was I bought another one. This is also a 2008 Mazda 3 hatchback, but there are some key differences about this car compared to the old one. For one, and the hugest thing comparing this car to that car, is this is a 5-speed auto. This is a 5-speed manual. It's my first manual car that I've ever owned, and I drove it home, and I learned to stick on the way home. It was hilarious. I stalled like 6 times, something like that, but I ended up getting it, and I've been pretty good at it recently. It's been a lot of fun. Now, another thing about this car is, compared to this car, which is almost base model, it's a touring trim, so it came with cloth, regular halogen lights, all that kind of stuff, just basic stuff. This is a GT model. The only two things this car does not have from factory is a sunroof and the Bose sound system. The two things I coincidentally didn't even want. Sunroofs on Mazdas and any older car in general like to leak, and I don't want to deal with that. Not at all. I don't care about sunroofs enough to deal with that kind of stuff. And the Bose system has issues. The amps go out on them all the time and all that kind of stuff. And I already had a custom sound system, so I just said, screw it. I don't even care. Let's go back to this car because I wanted to talk about a couple of things. What ended up happening with this car is I bought it back from insurance for about $700. If you didn't know, in some states you can do that after it becomes a salvage title car. Fortunately for me, this did not touch a tow lot at all. It's been here the whole time after the accident. I was able to take it from the body shop after its estimate and all that kind of stuff. So it never saw an insurance tow lot, nothing like that. The day that I bought this car, I started swapping parts over. And there's some stuff, as you can see, that I did to this car that you haven't seen on this car. And I'll go over those real quick. We've got chrome taillights that I did. These imported chrome side markers. Those are super, super hard to get, and I'm glad I got a set. And we've got some clear chrome headlights. I did a little bit of work on these. I opened them up, took the amber out, and put them back together. On the inside here, I did a couple things as well. I got some new seats. These are Mazda Speed 3 leather and Alcantara seats. I've got the fronts and I've got the backs, and they are wonderful. They are comfy. They are awesome. I love them to death. One little quirk about this car is that it's an 8.5 model year. I'm pretty sure it's an 8.5. So it came with chrome trim. It came with a power driver seat and some other little things here and there. But unfortunate for me, I don't really care about the power seat. So I went to just swap the manual seat from that car into here. Didn't work. I had to repin the connector, and I still got an airbag light and a seatbelt light. It was no good, not at all. The easiest solution that I came up with was taking both seats apart and swapping all the internals. So this entire back piece came from the other seat, and then I took this power seat bottom and disassembled it all the way, took the foam and the upholstery off of it and swapped them to this. So I think I'm the only person in existence with a Mazda Speed 3 seat from a first gen that is powered. I guess it's cool. It was very annoying though. Some other heres and theres that this car has compared to the other one is obviously the manual transmission, and I put a nice little shift knob on here from Likewise, or We Are Likewise, and this thing is baller. Look at that thing. Sick. Now, if you can't already tell, I did not swap the suspension between the two, and there's a reason for that. This car is sitting on Raceland coilovers. Raceland is a more cheaper brand, and I've had the coilovers on this car for about 30 to 40,000 miles already. And honestly, I just didn't think it was worth it, nor would it be in my best interest to put these coilovers on this car, because then I'd have to get this semi-aligned for it to be able to drive away once I get rid of it. And then I would also have to get this aligned, and it's just not worth it for blown coilovers in my opinion. So instead, I'm leaving the coilovers and the top hats and the rear tow arms, and I'm just going to go ahead and buy some new stuff for this car. And we're going to go ahead and do it the right way and get some nice coilovers, some nice suspension, all that kind of stuff, because I don't want to cheap out with this car. Not at all. The only other thing that I left on this car compared to that one is the rear motor mount. Everything else besides that is transferred to the new car. So if we come in here, what I went ahead and did is swap the leather door cards into this car, the leather seats from the other car into this car, the headliner. I even swapped the steering wheel because the steering wheel is in worse condition than the one that came out of this car originally. So went ahead and did that. But yeah. Now, in all honesty, I really, really, really wish I could keep this car. Ideally, what I would do with it is I would turn this into a project car. This, I could put a hatch and a bumper on, pull it out, and it would be a daily. But unfortunately, I just don't have the space for it. Shut up. I wish I could keep it here, but this isn't even my house, so it needs to go, unfortunately. And yeah, man, I'm gonna miss this car. Like, I know these are the same car, right? And this one's more fun because it's a 5-speed manual, but this car just means so much to me. So I'm really not looking forward to letting it go. But unfortunately in life, you just kind of have to do what life throws you. So as I don't have anywhere to store this car, that's what I gotta do. Yeah, I mean, here's the new car. It's in a lot better shape than the other one, that's for sure. It's got good paint. The wing, roof, and the hood were repainted. It's not the greatest paint ever, but I mean, it does the job, so I'm totally fine with it. And yeah, I love this car to death. It's so fun. I'm waiting on the matching door handles to come in. I've got one of them, so I'm gonna make a video on how to do door handles in these cars, because for some reason all the cars that I've came across, Mazda 3s in general, they're all loose. And I went to get in this car the other day and the handle just broke. It just broke off on me. I don't know how, nor why. It just did. So, yeah, I'm gonna make a video on that. But anyways, that's the story of what happened to the old car and why I've got a new one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up. If you want to see repair videos and possible modification videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because I'll probably be doing a couple videos on this car in terms of repairing it and doing modification to it. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.